Hey you guys, so it's day 3 and we are now about to do the overgarment and the hooded kemar. We're on the floor today, cause I told y'all I don't like cutting on the table, but we have so much fabric to cut today that we're gonna have to be on the floor. Let me just adjust this better so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Alright, so we started out with 10 yards of the crushed velour. Now we have like 7 or 7.5 yards, I'm not sure. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to measure out 3.5 yards for the A-line that we're going to use. So I don't have a measuring stick. I'm going to use my measuring tape. Everybody know that 1 yard is 36 inches. Come down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to place one of our A-line overgarments that we like the way it fits us on top of the fabric, and we are going to cut out from that. Every time someone asks me how do I do an A-line overgarment, since like I said, I've been sewing for a very long time, I legit just cut it out from fabric. I'll lay the fabric down. I can see an A-line overgarment in the fabric that I'm gonna cut. Legit, like I can see it. I can see where my arms are gonna be at, where the butt is gonna be at, where the pockets are gonna be at. I can just see it when I lay it down, but that's because I've been sewing for a long time. But how I started out sewing, I would take an overgarment that I liked. Some of them I didn't like, and I had to take them in because they were too big or whatever like that. And I traced that overgarment. That is the most simple way for you to make your own A-line at home. And after a while, you won't need to trace anything. You'll be able to just look at it to be after a while. But the first step and the easiest step is to take an overgarment that you already have. Ask all the time to do an A-line tutorial, so I'm gonna show y'all the easiest way to do it. Okay guys, so now we have the 3.5 yards of fabric cut out, and I'm just going to show you guys how I fold the fabric. So this is the length of the fabric. I fold that in half, right sides facing right sides. I go and I fold it widthwise in half. I'm just picking up the other side. Okay? Most simple way to sew. Okay, so we got our fabric nice and laid out on the floor. I am going to take, like I said, an A-line that I like the fit of. It is inside out, meaning the seams are showing. I'm gonna just fold it in half like this. Take it. So this actually has pockets in it already. So we're literally going to be, everything that we lay down, we're going to be tracing it out. So if I was to just be making a plain A-line, I would literally cut everything out the same way. I'm making a pleated A-line, so I'm gonna show you guys the difference. Because I'm making a pleated A-line, and I want the pleats to start right here, I didn't measure when I cut it, but that's how I know that that's where I want my pleats to start. Some people like their pleats to start at the knee or whatever like that. So I am going to be cutting everything normal on my overgarment until I get to 40 inches, and I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna cut straight across at 40 inches. Like basically, my overgarment is going to be short at 40 inches for right now. And now I'm done cutting that part. So I'm gonna lift up the bottom of my overgarment at the 40 inches, and I'm gonna cut straight across. I'm gonna take this off so you guys can see. So once you pull, this is the excess fabric that you pull away from your overgarment. This is what your cutout should look like so far. These are your pockets, your inseam pockets. This is your A-line. This is where it should be stopping on your body. If you were to be making a normal one, your A-line will be going all the way down to the ground. So you'll be done, and all you have to do is sew. That's why when I'm sewing A-lines, it's so quick. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna sew this down, right sides facing right sides. We're not gonna change the way we sew anything. We're gonna sew this down with a straight stitch, and then we're gonna go right back behind the straight stitch with the zigzag stitch on the edge of the overgarment to sew in the seam. Same way we did with the jacket, same way we did with the pocketbook. And then with this excess fabric, that is going to be the pleats. So what we're going to do with that fabric is we're going to take two ends of this fabric, because it was folded into four, it's two different pieces. We are going to sew this one end to the other end, right? We are going to straight stitch it, and then we are going to zigzag it. After that, I'll come back. What we're going to do is we're going to make pleats. So we're going to have to use our straight pins, pleat the fabric, and then pin it onto our A-line, and then sew that together, and that is going to be the end of that part, and then we can move straight on to the hooded kemar. Okay, you guys, so we're at our sewing machine, and like I said, we are just going to straight stitch it down on both ends, and then after we straight stitch it, we are going to zigzag stitch it to lock in that seam. That's for those of us who don't have the serger, okay? So we have sewn the base, the main part of the overgarment down. We have stitched, zigzag stitched to enclose the raw edges, and we have sewn the base stitch. I actually sewed the base stitch twice because the crushed velour, like I said, it moves around on itself, so that's why I did that. So we're just going to turn it right side out and try on what we have so far. See if we like the way our pockets feel. And we do. This is how it's fitting right now. The pockets are a good size. They're nice and they're a good size. So now what we have to do is we have to take the fabric that we cut off of the bottom. While we were cutting out the overgarment, we have to take that, we have to put these two pieces together, to sew them together. We're going to do the same thing, whereas though we do the base stitch and then we do the zigzag stitch to close up the seam, any raw edges, so that it ends up looking like this. This is what we're going to have all our seams look like today. So we're going to do that. Just to let you guys know now, instead of it just being 2 panels, you want to cut out a 3rd panel that is the same exact width and length, because when you're pleating, it makes the fabric quote unquote shrink because you're folding the fabric. So you're going to need to cut the fabric. You're going to need to have another fabric piece that is the same length and width as this. Just see something real quick. It's gonna be so cute. Let me see. Don't mind me on this block looking like a snake. I'm just. You see me? I see you seeing me see me. Period. Okay, so what we did was connected the 3 pieces that we need from the bottom, and we put the base stitch right here, and we did the zigzag stitch to encase any other raw edges and to encase the seam. So now what we're going to do is we are going to pleat. We got our box, full of straight pins. We got a couple of boxes for the straight pins. We got straight pins all in the bottom of this. This box of straight pins. So we have the straight pins that we need. You guys, I've done a lot of pleating tutorials, but you literally take your thumb, your pointer finger, take your thumb, your pointer finger, you hold the fabric like this, pull it over your thumb, pull your thumb out, you pin that down, do the same exact thing, pin that down. Okay, so we pleated all 3 panels of fabric, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our overgarment. We are going to go to the seam of our overgarment. We are going to take our pleated fabric. We're going to match right sides, facing right sides together. And we're just going to sew. We're going to sew it. You can remove the pins while you're sewing. After you sew it, like once you get close to the pin, you take the pin out. Me, I sew over the pins. That's why I have these small pins in. And usually it's easier to sew over pins that don't have the balls on the top of them. So that is what you're gonna do all the way around until you get to the end. And you're gonna have a piece, 2 pieces like this, and you're gonna have to sew them together. But I'll show you guys that once we get to that part. Right now, we're just sewing the pleats on straight like this. Okay, so we are done sewing all the pleats onto the overgarment. The pleats are sewn completely on, and now we have gotten to the end, to the back to the seam where we started it, and we have these 2 pieces. So we're going to do exactly what we did with the panels. We're going to sew it down, then we're going to zigzag it down, and that will be the end of the overgarment. So actually I end up using 4 panels of pleats because I made my pleats a little smaller. If you make your pleats bigger, you won't need so many panels of fabric. If you make them smaller like I did, you'll need more panels of fabric. So I gotta take the pins out of this. I'll show you guys how to do the hem on the sleeve because it's smaller. It's easier for you guys to get it. It's the same idea with anything else that you guys do tonight or today, whatever. So you take your fabric, and we are on the wrong side of the fabric, okay? So you take your fabric, wrong side, and you flip it over. So now the right side is showing. Then you flip that over again. So now this raw edge that was showing from the right side, it is now hidden completely on the inside and the outside, and you just sew that around, and that is how you hem. You will be, if you want to, you'll do the same thing for the bottom of your overgarment, the neck of your overgarment, and for the sleeves of your overgarment. It makes everything look more professional, more classy, more put together. If you guys want, you can stop, you can hem. And now we're going to get right back into the hooded kemar, and then we are done. We're done with the Crush collection. We're done with the tutorials, and now we can go slay an outfit. So yeah, we about to get back in the living room so I can show you guys the measurements for the hooded kemar, and then that's it. Finito. This is what it looks like. Pleated. It has pockets into Aline, Crush velour. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the hooded kemar that goes with it. Now mind you guys, I made a hooded kemar on my channel before. Literally, all it is one seam. Like, you fold the kemar, you fold your fabric in half, and you fold your fabric in half widthwise. So the 60 inches, you fold that in half until it's 30 inches. You take your widthwise fabric and you go from your hairline down to your chin. You put a pin right there. Now what you're doing is you're checking to see if that is comfortable with fitting your face. So you turn it inside out and it should be a hole right there and the pin should be holding it together. You try it on. Yeah, use a safety pin so you don't stab yourself. So you try it on, alright? So obviously I like the way this fits around my face. I will be sewing the seam from where I put the pin right here all the way down to the end of the fabric. Cut your shape so that it has a swoop in the background, in the back of it. Take your fabric. Can you guys hear the static or no? Take it. I usually measure mine out to be around 58 inches long, just so that it's like hitting the back of my leg. So we're at the end of the fabric, right? We're on the folded end of the fabric. The top of the fabric has your neck hole where you can put your head at, right? What I like to do is I like to cut from the end and I literally make a curve. Like I'm making a curve motion to go up to the fabric. That is how I cut it. So you guys will see the shape of the cut once I move this. This is the shape of the cut that I do for my hooded kemars. Take that away. This is what the bottom of my hooded kemars look like. It's rounded off like that. All you do from here is hem the kemar. Okay, you guys, so we're at the sewing machine. Like I said, we always make sure right sides are facing right sides. Make sure that it's even. Go from our hairline right here under our chin. I don't know how I found out that measurement, but that is the measurement that I like to use. All right, the sewing machine is on, and we're literally straight stitching it down, and then we're gonna zigzag it to seal the stitch the way we've been doing with everything that we've sewn so far. So this is what the seam looks like from there when it is encased in. So that is that part. You want to go ahead and hem the neck hole, the face hole. But other than that,